Welcome back to my channel, Dr. Okoya Ebasi. In this series, we are looking on how to build generational wealth. And the number one thing we want to consider today is to hand over assets to your children and not liabilities. Now, a lot of people, after gathering their wealth, they gather their wealth and then they store it in foreign bank accounts, maybe in dollars or in pounds, and then hand them over to their children. Now, if you hand over cash or you hand over luxurious buildings, hand over luxurious cars to your children, what you are handing over to them are liabilities. It is necessary for you to have understanding that you need to hand over to your children assets. So whatever money you have gathered and worked over the years to gather, make them to turn them into assets. Assets are things that you have put in place that are generating money on a daily basis or an annual basis. Now, assets are things that will bring money, generate money for your family. When you hand over assets to your children, the essence is that these assets will continue to be generating money while the children are living on the resources that are generated from the assets. And teach them not to sell the assets. Because if you sell the assets, then you have cut short the source of income that is coming from that assets. So families need to understand that it's not just enough to send your children to school. Teach them to have understanding about financial literacy, how money works, how money really works. Is very, very important. Let your children understand the difference between assets and liabilities. So you teach them financial literacy also. Let them read books about finances so that they will have understanding how money works. So they will not just come and sell your assets, but they will allow those assets to grow and continue to generate money for the family and possibly even build more assets. Because the more assets you build, the more money you get. Now, rich families build assets, while poor families build liabilities. They gather money and then they build mansions and they buy big cars and do all sorts of investments, all sorts of acquisitions that do not generate money. So that foundation of building assets, acquiring assets, is something that you need to teach your children. So that when you are gathering money, you don't just gather this money and hand it over to the children. So you hand over assets to them and you teach them how to build more assets so that they will continue the process long after you have gone. And let them also teach it to their children. When they have that understanding, they will learn how to build assets and not liabilities. In such a way, the wealth will be sustained. When you look at the scriptures, what Abraham handed over to Isaac as assets, most of them were assets. He handed over cattle, he handed over land, he handed over gold, he handed over silver and servants to Isaac to enable him continue from where he left. And that was how the Bible described that Isaac also did well, waxed strong, and he was great and rich and blessed by the Lord. This is the way to go. So you don't hand over liabilities to your children, you hand over assets to them. And you let them understand the difference between assets and liabilities and encourage them to build liabilities. When you do that, then you are building generational wealth. There is the most likelihood that these children will also follow the pattern of building assets, and the wealth will continue to pass through them to their children. So children, it is necessary that we hand over assets to our children. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel, share this video, and make your comments. Thank you.